Before we continue, I would like to recap on some of the strategies we discussed. And I think one of the primary ones that you would like to focus on is how do you conduct your class rules? If your class rules are, I will, I won't, or direct, giving the direction, walking, talking, listening, these kinds of things. Skip all that. Cut that out of your head. Cut it out of your system. Try to get rid of it because it doesn't work. And you know it doesn't work because for many, many years you have watched it not work. Yes?
Yes.
So, however, what does work is we need to, as educators, reach the subconscious mind rather than the conscious mind. I was just speaking with one of the teachers, so I will get into that a little bit. Why did I choose using positive affirmation rather than using direction?
Because it's related to subconscious mind.
Correct. That's exactly right. And one thing that I have recently learned in my studies is that the subconscious begins at conception. It continues up to the age of 7. So the paradigm of who you are today is the fault of your parents. And whom these children you're working with will also be. However, we can change ourselves and we can change them. It's just not that easy. So, one thing some of us may be aware of is that there is a hadith that discusses what do I do when I'm angry? What are the reactions that I will have when I'm angry? The one is drinking water. Drinking water. Now, Rasulullah may not have been aware of what he was discussing when he said, drink a glass of water, sit down and drink water. But I'm going to tell you what water does. Water changes your vibrations because water is vibration. And 95% of who you are is vibration and 5% is consciousness. That means 95% of your outlook on life, what's happening in your life, actually from your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is a magnet. So anything you are attracting, I hate this, I hate that, and you are attracting because your subconscious mind is always thinking about it. Think of it as a recorder. It's only a tape recorder. You cannot reach it, no matter how hard you try. So there are 7 ways to reach it. One of them is positive affirmations, but you have to repeat them to yourself. And note, the subconscious believes anything it hears. Number 2 is using headphones and listening. Now, if you are a Muslim, you might choose to listen to the Quran. And you will note that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you recite this book, you will change who you are.
Exactly.
Note that when in recitation you're doing tajweed, which is a form of music.
Yes.
Why? Because that these tones are reaching the subconscious. Now there are some things, you might want to write this down. Let me try to recall it. Success. It's called Vortex Success. Vortex Success is on YouTube. It is free and it has vibrations which reach your subconscious mind. It has secret positive affirmations. It tells you in the setting what you're hearing, but you don't actually hear it. And you can sit yourself, put the headphones on, shut your eyes and listen to it when you're going to bed or you just want to calm yourself down. And you choose which thing you want to change in your own life. This will actually help you change your students because you will be attracting what you want. You will become the magnet and they will orbit you. Number 2, water. Water is amazing. Now, when I first moved to Pakistan, and I met an imam, and they were saying, do this recitation, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. I was like, first of all, I can't even say that. And secondly, that's witchcraft. That was my thinking, because that's how I grew up. But then I discovered it's not that. It is a changing of the vibration. I'm changing the vibration of that water when I'm speaking. And when I drink whatever water I've talked to, I'm changing the vibration in my own self. We would call this an aura. Do you believe you have an aura? So if you have an aura, it's made of water vapor. So how do you change it? You state what you want and do it in gratitude. I am grateful for the wonderful students I have. Drink it. Anything like this. You can talk on a whole pitcher of water and hand it out to the whole class. I am grateful for the wonderful students I have. And you give it to the whole class. You would say it between 3 and 7 times. And the reason for that is because you are enhancing the vibrations and the change of that water. You might know about the doctor in Japan who spent over 15 years studying studying the changes of crystallization of water. When I say I hate you, I say I love you, I say any positives or negatives, I'm going to see a change in the crystallization of this water. So you are doing exactly the same thing to yourself and to anyone you've given that particular water to, whether they know it or not. They don't have to know. So I would like to repeat this because another thing on working on our subconscious minds is doing it with emotion. The more emotion you put into an event, the more it will reach the subconscious mind. If you are in a trauma, you will have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, because of emotions. If you are in, if you are in love, if you are ecstatic, if you are happy, you have created something in your subconscious mind to push forward even when negative things occur. Otherwise, there's no way you would. So it's all about emotions. So when you're reading this, I want you to say it with emotion, not stead. And you might practice whatever you have chosen for your positive affirmations and say it rhythmically also, because you notice that I'm using a rhythm. So why am I using the rhythm? Why do we do tajweed? Why? Yes, exactly. And yes. And why am I using emotion? Because all these things, I'm just trying to reach deeper in that child. Hypnosis is another way for you guys. I wouldn't do that with the students, but for you guys, if you want to improve, increase anything positive in your life, use hypnosis. So, and a good hypnotist who is also online is, let me try to recall his name, Michael Seeley. So you can write him down, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Seeley, S-E-A-L-E-Y. So these two things, if you want to do anything for your own personal self first, and then you can also work on everybody around you. And if you're doing these things, I would suggest you may not tell your spouse. You might tell others, but the last person you might tell is your spouse. It depends. So I want to do this with you again, but I want you to try to do it with me in rhythmatic method and emotion. Okay. I am a good person. I am a good person.
I am a good person.
I am a good listener.
I am a good listener.
I am a problem solver.
I am a problem solver.
I am trustworthy.
I am trustworthy.
I am trustworthy.
I am trustworthy.
I am successful in all that I do.
I am successful in all I do.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I am worthy of respect.
I am worthy of respect.
I am worthy of patience.
I am worthy of patience.
I am worthy of your time.
I am worthy of your time.
I am filled with love.
I am filled with love.
I am well protected.
I am well protected.
I am intelligent.
I am intelligent.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
I am fearless.
I am fearless.
I love who I am.
I love who I am.
I am filled with kindness.
I am filled with kindness.
I am filled with respect.
I am filled with respect.
I am filled with patience.
I am filled with patience.
I am a winner.
I am a winner.
Excellent. So when you're doing with your class, say they're just like, they're so used to you, this is all new, everything coming into them, and you suddenly start class. In your notebooks, you have it written. Whatever those affirmations are you want, you have it written. You might not have it on the wall and you open it and you just start with, today, please repeat after me. And you say it. And you say it rhythmatically. You would practice it at home so that you master how you want to say it. Then your students will be like, what are we doing? If they're older. If they're younger, they'll think it's great. The more hand motions you use, the more excited your tones, the more engaged they will be at the end of it. Now you get into your lesson and you're anticipating that you're going to see an outcome of chaos. But you go back to, oh, I love what good listeners we all are today. Whatever the case is. And be very emotional about it. When you're praising, be emotional. And when you're condemning, bring that down. Bring that part down. So these two things, I think, will help you. Yes.
So you're just
Yes.
plus pauses.
So now I would like to go to a study done by Dr. Brenda Fitzgerald. You can find this on the YouTube. I believe she was from North Carolina. This study and her speech is on improve early childhood development through words. So what they discovered, and she's a gynecologist, she's not a teacher. What she discovered in her studies was that they did it for 8 solid years. They did it with the exact same families. They had a few hundred families. And they started everyone as a newborn. And they went up to primary year 3. And under the study, they made certain that whether the family was poverty leveled, middle class, or professionals, and they had equal parts of each, they all had the exact same diet. They all had adequate benefits, whether it was health benefits or whatever the case was. But they did not take the children or the families out of their personal home environment. So if they were at a poverty level, they continued to be so. Just that they made certain that the diets and medical care or any necessity was equal. Even they put them in the exact same school system. So this way, it eliminated any plausible issues of there being difference with the children on a humane level. At the end of the study, by primary year 3, what she discovered was that the fundamental keys to the children succeeding in education, graduating high school, and furthering educational studies was only 30,000 words. What do I mean? You see, in the household where the parents are not wealthy and under a lot of financial pressures, they are continuously saying to the children, be quiet. 50 words per hour from newborn up to age 8 was the average conversation within the household. And it might even be less than 50. This was an average. So with that, it really upset Dr. Fitzgerald because she said it was so easy to correct. We didn't have to change the diets or anything. All we had to change was how we communicate. Because what she found was that this class of children versus this class of children were not able to read. Even though they went to the same school, they had the same teachers, they had the same diet. Why? Because their parents were not communicating. And it's all about oral communication. So this is something you need to train your parents.
We can give a first any letter to make words like A, make words with A, make words with C, like that.
Yes.
We can improve your memories.
Yes. So, okay, you're talking about in the aspect of teaching. So this is just the aspect of communicating.
Yes.
Right.
It's an economical problem.
So with this, especially what's going on. And I would say within Pakistan, it is a very normal thing to say chapsha. Very, very normal thing. Get lost. I don't remember that word, but but I think this is a very normal thing. Go away. I don't want to talk to you, and be quiet. Especially from fathers. I think that is happening too much. And this is something that you should take a look online, learn it, even show it to the parents if they can understand it, or translate it so they can. And that should be your main focal point at your first lecture to the parents. Because you want them to engage with the child. See, your child is going to, in the middle of your work, running around like crazy, whether you're cooking or cleaning or you're trying to write something or finish a PowerPoint. Mommy, look at this! Ah! You're like, oh my God, get them. And you're very calm. Please wait a moment. Please wait a moment. And there you go. Ah! Well, I didn't want to show you anyways. And they run off.
Quiet.
Yes.
That
So you know, in this, and then the other situation can be the child comes to you and you shut down whatever you're doing, take a look and say, what is it that you found? But remember, 2 things, touch and look them in the eyes. What is it that you found? Oh my God, that's so amazing, that bug. You found that big old bug? Oh, how many more bugs can you go get? Do you want a jar? Let's go get a jar. So it is a little bit of a frustration because we have to change our own dynamics due to the fact that our minds are on our work and we have to shut that off and go into focus of the child's mind. That's where the problem is, because we're like, I'm just asking you for 1 second. I can shut down in 1 second, in 1 minute. But if you do it immediately, on the time frame of your student or your children, it helps them in reality to become better in their education. It helps them become professionals because you are giving that opportunity. You see, 50 words per hour might be from the adult, but it can also be from the child.
Most of the time, parents remove their frustrations of words, whatever, on their child.
Yes. And then 100 plus words on the middle class per hour happening in the household. That is also between the adults and the children. The children are not told to get lost, shut up. They are engaged in participation. And 200 plus words at the professional level, well, these are the children people are calling like paradigms or whatever. Or these are the children they're calling prodigies, sorry. And these children are not prodigies. They just have more opportunity to discuss how they think. And they have more vocabulary because somebody has enhanced their minds with a vocabulary in the first place. These children are lacking vocabulary. Now, for myself, in the Urdu language, I would say I might know 5 words. My husband's family, they are Pathan, and I only know military commands because in that house, that is, in reality, the vocabulary regulated. And I have yet to get to this level, or even first grade level after 10 years, because I'm not surrounded by talkers, but I am surrounded by chop, 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 chop. Cana, Rosa, those kinds of things. And so even I am studying that language or studying Urdu, I have a very difficult time to attain a vocabulary. So that's at an adult's level. At a child's level, if this is what's going on, and it's going on for years, imagine to the extent that they are lacking the vocabulary. So like you were mentioning, saying a letter sound, but I'm not talking about that. I want you to use vocabulary, but allow your students to communicate. So that comes down to the way you design your lesson. You will have a time of lecture. Make it as short as possible. Make the engagement of questions and communication stronger. One thing you have a problem with is the children are not continuing the questions of your topic. So I will write my question on the board. What if, remember the what if, because you're reaching subconscious mind. What if the sky was all red and the land was all blue? Can you describe to me how did it happen? And you don't ask anything else. You don't give any clue. Now you let them all to start giving you all kinds of answers. Just because you're trying to engage them to think on your terms. So what you need to do is, in your lesson, whatever your topic is, think, how can I give just one question to use imagination and engage conversation about my topic? And it can be wild, but you don't care. Now this is the American style that I'm teaching you, of teaching. We allow wild imaginations. Pink horses, flying cows, anything. Because what we're trying to do is engage communication. It really doesn't have to do anything with the lesson itself. So that's what I will suggest to you in order to build these 30,000 words, which I'm certain you guys have children lacking, and they probably are lacking anywhere from 18,000, I'm not even going to 15, up to the 30. In reality, because most of them are living in this, and they might not have that vocabulary, and they can't read. And what was really amazing to me when I was in Kohat back in 2015, and I was working with some of my neighbors' children, that the boys at age 17 could not give me an essay, a simple essay, a simple paragraph. And the boys at 11 could not read a simple book. Bob can run, can't read it. They couldn't sound it out. I didn't understand why at that time. That time, I was saying, what's wrong with these teachers? But now I can see it wasn't the teachers. It was something much deeper. Because the child is saying, I can't, number one. So your positive affirmation is telling them, yes, you can. I remember Barack Obama, yes, you can, yes, you can. And yes. And then also their household, maybe there was many people, maybe there's, it's a very normal household, but they are continuously being told, I don't have time for you, from the adults. And so that is breaking down the capacity of oral communication for these children. So we can, enhance and build this just by redesigning the way you teach your class to give them more of an opportunity to communicate. So are there any questions? Okay, so you should write this down so you can watch her video in more detail. And hopefully you have an opportunity to communicate this to the parents.
Appreciation, you talk about appreciation. Is it the right way to appreciate your child on their cognitive, comparative education on their cognitive skills? Like A grade, I give any prize to A grade and not B and C. And I compared A grade with all the students.
Okay, because you're saying without meaning to say it,
Yes, ma'am.
you're not good enough.
Yes, ma'am.
You see? You got a C, you're not good enough. You got a B, you're not good enough.
You are not doing well and he is doing well. He is superior
And they're
all
always
others are inferior.
they're always A and they're always C's. I was always a D. And so in that situation,
I mean, trophy or gold medal is our trend.
there's no problem with it. But try to engage wow, you got a C? Awesome, yes! Because you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. See, you passed. That's outstanding. And I know you're going to do even better. But here you are, have a star, have a sticker, have a whatever. Have a, silver medal or what are they, bronze medal?
I'm talking about, we have the purpose of assessment is to compare their cognitive skills.
Yes.
Not to test our objectives.
Okay, I see what you're saying because you're doing left brain learning instead of right brain learning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So in this situation, I think it is a Pakistani thing as educators because the government says they have to know word for word verbatim what it says and repeat.
Yes,
That is the stupidest
we
thing
are
I've ever
objective
known.
To know the knowledge. No
Yes.
taxonomy, first time knowledge.
I
Not
really
application,
dislike it.
not understanding and
Yes.
evaluation and all that.
I very much dislike this, and we cannot change it at this moment of time. It is unfortunate. Hers is that as your system is designed for these exams, if you miss the word A in that writing, you get a mark down, a mark down for such a small matter. That is reinforcing a negative, actually. But there's nothing you can do about it. This is an issue for you. So let's ignore that part. We'll move that out and put in what we can do. So Johnny got an A, but he always gets an A because he has a great memory. And he is very good on a right brain learning scale. This is a right and left brain thing. Because memory comes from the right brain, and you can train it. And reading and writing come from the left, which you also train it. What do we not train? We don't train right brain learning. So that is a different skill, and in the future, this will be a workshop on how to do that. But at this moment in time, in this situation, what you want to do is take those who are A's, those who are B's, those who are C's and D's. You don't have to enhance, wow, what a great job for the A, so much, because it's not really helping these others. They are continuously telling, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. And it doesn't. Right. It's not going to go away if you continue to enhance the A. So what you do is you say to the C student, did you do that? You only missed one word out of the whole sentence? That is so awesome. Oh my God, even I don't think I could do that good. Give me 5. Like that. Give me 5. Great job. Do the opposite. And that will encourage them to next time not even miss the one word. Next time they don't even miss 3 words. Whatever the case is, go the opposite way. Whoa, out of 5 words, you got 2 right? That is so good! And you know it's not good. So you just go opposite of it, and you give them something as a positive reinforcement. This will help that problem right away. Now you were asking, again, just one more time, I know.
Yeah, I was saying that as you've already told us that we are in the poverty and the middle class.
How do I enhance my children to grow their vocabulary, and learn how to read? Because they're not.
To make their interest to read. They do not even have the interest to read the books, even if they are Victorian, they are colorful. Now they are more attracted towards the gadgets or the things like that, games.
Who has smart boards in the school system? Nobody. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have it, you can download some things. Like story building. But if you don't have it, I always think on the terms of when I'm going to teach this week, this topic, how many games can I create? And I try very hard to put one game in every single class, every single day. It's not easy. So the reality comes to, I do it 3 times a week out of 5. So in this situation, I recently was in that with a whole class of kids that should have been able to read very simple CVC words. They couldn't. They do know the sounds. They may even be doing Jolly Phonics, which is very helpful on learning how to read quickly. But they still couldn't do it. They would go at, and then they would say jam. That means it wasn't reaching. Why it wasn't reaching? Even though they knew how to do the sound system, there is something deeper that it's not reaching. It's not you. It goes back to here. So, in this situation, you continue with that, but design it in games. Rather than giving the book, because the book has also become like, ugh.
Boring.
Yes. I did one where I got these jellies that are Play-Doh, but they're jelly and they're see-through. And what I would do is I give a little bit to each child, and I made a bingo. So I made a small card with 9, and I would say, okay, I'm going to draw one word out, and who can read this word? Or I might write it on the board and say, sp-at. I might not say it, I might just write it, and I would say, you guys say the sounds, and then they would say it, and I'd say it faster, spat. Oh, the camel spat. Okay, now, where is spat on your card? Look for this word on your card. And they would find it and they put that jelly on it. And then the jelly, they can see through it and they can touch it. So this is using the brain, the right brain, and the left brain at the same time, because you're giving them a visual aid, you're giving them a physical stimulus, and you're giving them emotion.
You're at the application stage,
Yes.
not only knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
There's one question. We're talking about the positive reinforcement and how we can encourage the students. And I think so that the students who belong to the elite class from upper class, and those students who are moving to root systems, or we can say the beacon house subsystem, the students, they meticulously observe the whole situation, and we can see a kind of exuberance on their faces when they are sitting in the class. There we can give them a sort of motivations, and we can just sit there and we can get together anything. But those students who are sitting in the, you can say middle there, or those who are from the middle class, or those their family background is not like that. But when we give them like of motivation, or when we give them like hello, tata, bye bye, so they can take it in a negative aspect of the teacher. They are not taking us in a serious way, and their mind is not like such trash or the boost up. So what we can do then, those who are from the middle class or the...
Correct. So we're getting back into what we call subconscious mind in this situation. And your children are over the age of 7, I'm imagining, yes? Your students. Okay. You can retrain their subconscious mind into it, the dynamic of what you want. You have to give the positive affirmation. You have to give the positive praise for the smallest of things. But you have to think very carefully, what is it that that child who is continuously not doing or not learning what I have been teaching, what are they doing? Look at it the opposite way. Just like I said with the exams. Rather than saying you did 100% and you got like 40, good luck to you. Go opposite. Yes, he did 100, but oh my God, this one was fantastic. You got 2 out of 5, great. Just because you're trying to train them to want more praise rather than want attention in any capacity they're getting it. Because this really comes down to, I'm not getting praise and I never will because I'm not good enough. And this really, the totality comes to, they believe, especially those children, I can't do it. They'll even tell you, I can't do that. What do you think I am? I'm not a Einstein. So this is the belief system that they have designed within their own hearts, and we want to retrain it. So I hope that I helped you with your question. I know it's a little bit more complicated, but try these things. If they're still not working, keep notes, and when we meet again, we can discuss it more. And I will also get more detail about your student, because if I can visualize your student, understand your student, I can help you further with whatever that issue might become.
Because they have developed a complacent sort of mindset from their childhood, so I think so at that age it's not possible for them to change their consciousness or the mind level.
Exactly. So that's basically what you guys are doing. You are, in reality, becoming psychiatrists.
Be a second. Teacher should be a second.
Yes.
Record this one.
And you are reformatting the mindset of your students. Because without being able to do that, you will continue with the exact same problems. My last question to you is, what do you imagine, or what would you have loved in your own childhood to have been happening as a happy memory? Go to, in your own mind, think about that time the teacher scolded you because you didn't color your paper correctly and humiliated you in front of everybody. And you were like 4 or 5 years old. Why? Who cares? Think about the time that, whatever it is, something happened that could have been a positive. And now I want you to ask yourself, based on that, what kind of memories do you want your students to have about you? Do you want them in the future to say, why did she or he not appreciate the work I did? So in that, we want to focus on, how can I create a happy memory every single day? And you might write it for yourself on something, or put it on your mobile for some time, so that every time you're looking at it, you will see this question. Repeat to yourself, how can I make every day a happy memory for someone else? That will help you to reinforce how to do positive affirmations. And the second part, like I said, if you can do it as a whole school, that would be fantastic. If not, throw up as many statements as you can all over the walls. Your classroom, another classroom, down the hallway, whatever you're able to do. And convince your staff, this needs to happen. This needs to happen in order to enhance the learning of our students. That might be more enthusiastic to the principal, that you will get better grades, better outcome, better statistics in the exams. And another motivation is, we will create leaders. We are creating leaders with positivity. You'll notice that Imran Khan, although I'm not impressed with his performance at this moment in time, and I have a lot of personal complaints about what I want to see and what I'm not seeing. But he is a very professional, and he is also very well spoken, and he also has one more thing. He's positive. When he talks, he does it in a positive way. So being positive is what makes you a leader. It's not really about your birth sign, your background, your this. It comes down to, if I'm a leader, I accept responsibility for my errors because I am not afraid to project my mistakes, because I know that I'm great. So if I make a small error, who cares? I'm fantastic.
That's the point.
This is the main thing that you're trying to get across to your
Make
students.
on motivated.
Yes, yes. Oh, okay, no problem.
Those of you who have not filled the attendance list, if you can just fill it out.
So now we will go into groups of 4. Wait, how many are here today? I think she can't hear me. She's too much of a distance. Okay, I haven't counted, so I have 4, 8, 12. Okay, so in 30s. So make a group of 4 or 3. Divide into 3, it's like 10 per table. Is 32 divided by 4 is what? 8 per table? So 8 to 10. You guys can go into groups of 8 to 10. And then I'll give you some of these. You guys can use. Sorry. they have sentences like the ones I wrote on my little drops of sunshine or whatever, which is something to remind me that I want to say, rather than saying, why can't you? I said, oh, I knew you could do it. You know, kind of reminding myself what I want to say rather than what I don't want to say. So, and then you can get all of your equipment here. So we have one pair of scissors per table and crayons and other papers. If you need more papers, I have, so don't worry. Okay, so just go ahead and turn your tables and get into groups. The hand of which is your stronger hand. Okay. Sorry, I need to read or I will forget. Okay, so you guys also in the back, get your partner and do like this. Okay. This is about vocabulary words which build up and vocabulary words which tear down. So you see how our fingers are? So we can do like this. But, okay, so you guys pull apart now. Okay, but you don't want to pull apart, so you're going to do whatever you can to not pull apart. Okay, now I want you to say, I am clever.
I am clever.
I am brilliant.
I am brilliant.
I am fearless.
I am fearless.
I am delightful.
I am delightful.
I am heroic.
I am heroic.
I am enough.
I am enough.
Pull. We don't break. You notice we don't break. Did you break?
No.
Amazing, huh?
It's not hard.
Okay, now we'll do it again. Don't break. Get ready. I am never enough.
I am never enough.
I am always feeling like I'm not worth it.
I am always feeling like I'm not worth it.
I am not skillful.
I am not skillful.
I am unloved.
I am unloved.
I am unworthy.
I am unworthy.
Break. Why did you break?
We feeling low. We are feeling low.
Yes.
That shows the weakness.
Yes.
The weaker part.
Right. Words can build and words can destroy. And when you,
Words are in our subconscious mind.
yes, when you are yourself doing this, you are going to start noticing around you, in your house, in your life, in your work, every person is so negative. How do you manage it? You have to do meditation. That's why I told you go to, yes, you have to do positive attributes. Go to Vortex Success. That one I just recently found because it does reprogram your subconscious mind and it makes a barrier wall that you can't see, but in your vibrational state, because 95% of everything you do, just like driving a car, is subconscious. You can drive a car from the supermarket to your house and not even notice what street you're passing.
I can easily.
Yes, because you're driving based on subconscious. You're not doing it consciously. When you learn to drive, everything is conscious. You notice the cat in the road, everything. But when you're very skilled at that, you're doing it without recognition. So your subconscious is always driving. Whether it's a car, or it's relationships, or it's professions, whatever it is. It's always driving the show. It's always driving your emotions. If you are an on person or an off person, an equilibrium person,
It's easy to manage.
yes. So anything that you feel even when it comes to finances. Actually, you can attract and detract the finances you have. Now, we also have to revision gratitude, because lacking the gratitude, you will have like clashing, okay? But taking that aside, if you sit and you say, I am a millionaire, and you just keep telling yourself, I am a millionaire, and money falls on me like lollipops fall on a baby.
Oh my God.
I can grab money from any tree branch I want. I walk through the fields of gold. You will notice money starts coming out of nowhere. How did it happen? Because I will tell you, I did this for a few days as a test with myself and my friends. And I also made an affirmation wall that behind it, I told them you have to watch it 5 minutes a day. Behind it, I had such kind of subliminal messaging. And every one of us would either find a coin, or I found 2 gold jewelries sitting on the street. I gave them back when I found the owners, but the point is, it works. Money attracts to you when you say and you believe it. So, if that can happen, something like that, a material possession, how about relationships? How about your students' success? How about the success of yourself, the success of your corporation, the success of your household? If you start telling yourself the opposite, rather than, my sister is horrible, she's always taking everything from me, guess what? She's going to be horrible. She's going to take everything from you. But if you say, oh, and even you don't believe it in your heart, but you just keep saying it, my sister is so fantastic. She shares, she is cooperative, she is the best friend I've ever had in my life. So you haven't talked to her for 10 years. You will suddenly get a phone call. These things happen because you've changed the vibrations around you. Because 95% of everything about you comes from that subconscious mind, and you don't even know it's happening.
Which positivity and negativity are in yourself, not in others.
Yes. And like I said, you're going to have that problem at the beginning of changing this and going into the positive reinforcement. Because by nature, you have a pattern. And those around you have also that pattern. And you're going to see it. Just like when I started changing it for my students, I started to notice, as where before I didn't. My co-teacher was always saying, you will not eat lunch, you will not eat lunch. She never took that privilege away. It was her automatic statement. But when we changed the dynamics, the kids were doing their work. They were becoming successful, and they were completing the task in the time frame, because we were giving them positive reinforcement, and there was no statement of, you will not have your lunch. It wasn't necessary. As where before, it was taking 2 to 3 hours to complete a 30-minute task. So these are the things, but it's sometimes frustrating, because if you have someone in your family, in your personal life, who is by nature, that's negative, gloomy, gloom and doom person, and you want to change them, they're not willing, that's when you just start doing the vortex success for yourself. Because that will block this. You need to block that person's viewpoint, reflect it away from you. And the only way you can do it is to build a wall. And the only way you can build a wall is to strengthen your vibrations. So that's my suggestions to you on this aspect. Okay, so you come, and who else? Okay, so both of you come. You just have one ball each. Maybe you standing at the door. And what I will do, I will have read one by one out. And you can read one by one out. Okay. So first, we will go blue ball and then yellow ball. And we don't know who is getting a positive or a negative affirmation. But we'll see if this ball will reach the basket or bounce out of the basket. You guys do some trials. Do some trials so you know the distance and the bounce. Okay? Let's try again. Oh, so close. If I move it back just a little, I'm just letting her try until she can feel the distance. Yes. Very good. So now you have a feeling. You can try again. Check it. Okay. All right. You go first.
You are so intelligent.
Say it very loudly and give which ball you want to go.
You are so intelligent.
Yellow ball. You are so intelligent. Yes? Yellow ball, throw. You are so intelligent. She doesn't believe. Do you see in her body language? Okay, you can go.
Ma'am, too much motivation is not good for health.
I'm extremely disappointed in you as a person.
Okay. Blue ball, I'm extremely disappointed in you as a person. Maybe she has higher vibration. Okay.
Okay, if you expect to succeed, you need to try harder.
Yellow. Okay, your side?
I'm proud of you in your efforts.
Blue. Now, I am extremely disappointed in you has reached her subconscious mind. I am proud of you and your efforts. I am so proud of you. Come on, you can do it. Okay, which one?
Why can't you be more like her?
Why can't you be more like her? What's wrong with you? That's better. She's still on the I'm proud of you. Why can't you be more like her? Good. Okay.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you so much for being you. I love you. Thank you. Now, we're seeing a delay. I think it could be. She might be on the previous one. Thank you for being you. Maybe we are not giving them enough time to relay the negatives versus the positives. Okay. Thank you so much for being you. You guys are fantastic, and we love you. Come on. Okay, is there any more?
You're the best student I have, and I know you will succeed in this.
Say it with emotion.
You're the best student I have, and I know you will succeed in this.
And on this side, anybody?
Here is your ball, good luck.
Repeat one more time.
Here is your ball, good luck. Here is your ball, good luck.
You have to say it in a very...
Loud.
Here's your ball. Good luck. Here's your ball. Good luck. So, emotion matters. Emotion matters. And who likes to do acting? You know what I mean by acting?
Yes.
So, being a good actress. Okay?
You are amazing in everything you do.
Okay, go up there and like be really enthusiastic and tell them.
You are amazing to do everything.
Okay, is she showing her extreme emotion? No, you have to be extremely enthusiastic. You are so amazing! Oh my God! I love you! You're so fantastic! And thank you! Like that.
Oh, you are amazing in everything, man. Please do it.
Okay, who is next? Anybody next? Yes.
Thank you for being you. You do it.
See, even she believes she can't do it, but she did it. Because I saw the dynamics change in her mind. Did you guys see it? But she still did it. And that's what you guys are doing as teachers. When you're continuously giving that positive, and even though you're seeing, they say, I can't, they will. Because you're telling them, I believe in you. And that's all they needed. Who in this table? Anybody, or is it finished? Finish? Okay. Okay, thank you both. So now what I want you to do is think about in your room, in your hallway, in your vocabulary, where do you want to make those changes? What is it you're saying today that you don't want to say tomorrow? So that's what we are going to design. So, just give you my. You don't have to do like I did. You can do whatever you want. Be creative and use your imagination. I designed this on my own because I just accidentally did a teardrop on a yellow. And I said, well, what can it become? Oh, it can become sunshine. It can also become flower, a flower. So just design anything you like and imagine, do I want it to hang? Am I going to do double-sided? Am I going to do it on my walls? What do I want to say? How do I want to express myself? What do I want to achieve in my students? And what do I want to achieve to show that I am successful as a teacher and a leader? So these are the things you ask yourself, and then you do your designs. So I did like that. I don't know, that particular day, I was dealing with my own kids at home, so I was like a little bit crazy, and I went with the lightning because I'm feeling lightning. And yes, but I thought, okay, even in my own house I have these things, the bolts of encouragement, because what I want is I don't want to feel like a lightning rod. I would rather feel like somebody who is encouraging someone else. So, oh, you're brilliant, thank you so much, and continue doing your wonderful work. Oh my God, you're so adorable when you clean up the room. Thank you, and continue. You know, kind of like this. So it's just to help you refocus away from what we naturally do and go into what we would like to see.